and welcome to the Lincolnshire Buzzcast, a podcast that covers everything Lincolnshire, as well as talking to some fantastic people who are doing some fantastic things in the county. I'm Lizzie.
And I'm Hannah.
And I'm Will.
Hello and welcome to episode 18 with our brand new co-host Will. Welcome, Will, to the Lincolnshire Buzzcast team.
Thank you very much for having me. It's an honour. It's an honour to come on the Buzzcast. Really looking forward to it.
He says it's an honour because he's not listened to anyone's up until this point.
He has actually. You've done your research, haven't you, Will? Name was your favourite episode. On the spot now, go.
Well, I love the Olympics one. You know, I listened to that early doors. It seemed, like you said, Lizzie, it seems months ago. Now we're coming into winter. But we need to do a Winter Olympics one soon. You know,
Yes. Are they in February? Yeah. Winter Olympics are in February, aren't they? So we need.
Are they in February? Okay,
I think they're in Feb, and they're somewhere weird this year. I can't remember where they are this year.
Somewhere weird this year. Well, you heard it here first, that lovely descriptive. The Winter Olympics are somewhere weird this year. All them people that live in that place, wherever it is are going to be sat listening to this going, excuse me?
No, exactly. I meant for like a weird time zone, so things will be on at like silly o'clock at night and things like that. It's not somewhere that's like Germany or somewhere like that would only be like an hour's difference.
It was this year, wasn't it? Summer we were. It was all in the evening, wasn't it? Because it was
Tokyo. Yeah.
So long ago. I'm trying to remember where we were in the world. Where are we?
Yeah. Oh man, what was your highlight of the Olympics? Can we remember that far back? What was the highlight of the Olympics? I can't really remember if there were any massive stories. Were there any massive stories that occurred?
Oh, I think diving. It was Tom Daly getting his medal. That was beautiful.
That was good.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Bless him. And his knitting. Tom Daly's knitting. Who knew? Tom Daly's an absolute cracking knitter. Knitter.
What a guy.
Knitting.
There was that young lass as well who did the skateboarding one that was like amazing, who was playing for GB but has an American accent, but he's also she's from everywhere, wasn't she? So it was amazing. Like, it was absolutely wonderful. Like, she just embodied like the Olympics, I feel, as a human being.
Yeah, she was already 13 or something, wasn't she?
Yeah, we somehow we got her for GB, which was the best. I feel like it was a victory for us. She could have done for anyone.
We did really amazing, though, to be fair, as a country. We always do well as a country, to be fair.
Yeah, because we're so tiny.
Yeah, we are. We're small, aren't we? Like, you compare us to China and Russia, and they're just massive, aren't they? Yeah. And we're just like this tiny little island that do come in the top 4 all the time. So
I know. I'm proud of us. Well done. Well done, Team Britain.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Team GB is the official, but we'll go with Team Britain because you're not that sporty, Lizzie.
It's the same thing. It's just eradicating the great bit.
Yeah, and why would you want to do that? We are great.
It just feels like a bit of a brag, doesn't it? No one else has a brag in front of their name. It's not like awesome China. Team Fantastic USA.
Yeah,
it's not. No one else has a description before their country. It's a fair point, actually. In fact, do you know what I learned the other day, actually? That there is actually a way around to put the Union flag. It's called a Union flag. It's only called a Union Jack if it's on a boat. Learned that as well. So some fun facts for you all. But there's an upside down, a downside to it. Like, you can have it upside down, even though I thought it was the same.
I thought it was the same too. Enlighten us.
No. So it was because so we all have these resident groups that we're a part of, like, you know, on social media. They're always an absolute thrill and nightmare at the same time. But someone had put something on there saying, I'm disheartened to see the amount of Union Jacks around the village the wrong way around. And someone then said... corrected them, go, no, well, if you're going to correct everyone else, it's not called a Union Jack unless it's on a boat. So that was fun. So they got put in their place. But also, there is, on the cross that's behind it, there's like a thick white bit and then a thin white bit under the cross. So, like, the cross isn't exactly mid-centre. So, like, on top of the cross is a thick bit and a thin bit under it. So the side that's closest to the pole should have the thick white bit on top. And the thin white bit underneath, because it's the opposite way around on the other side. That's why it's the side closest to the pole. So if you're one of these people that flies the Union flag on their house or something like that, go outside and check, because if you got it upside down, it means we're in distress or something like that. So
That's going to be the next question. Like, do you get like, is there some sort of anarchy if you?
Yeah. So I think if you fly it upside down, it means you're in distress. If you fly it at half mast, that's for the Queen, isn't it? If she dies.
I thought half mast was to respect anyone who'd passed away.
Well, yeah, I think it's anyone of
Royal
note.
descent. Yeah.
Anyone of, I think you could have flown at half mast for Prince Philip, maybe. I don't know. It might just be the Queen.
No, a lot of flags round here were half mast, like all caravan parks round here where I live. That makes me sound like a right weirdo, but because I live on the coast, all the caravan parks had it half mast when Prince Philip passed away.
Yes, well, I'm sure listeners will actually be able to correct me if I've said anything wrong. They will definitely. We get the emails in of the trodes now. I think you'll find that half mast means this and upside down means this, and I'm quite happily willing to be corrected, because it's always interesting to find the stuff out about flag.
It is always learning.
Always learning. Okay, so this week we appreciate we have not put anything out for a while. That's because we went on a little impromptu break while we did a little bit of a revamping of the Buzzcast, in which we've brought some new and exciting features, as well as our new and exciting Will. So I think before we
Will.
Thank you.
Before we jump into those features, I feel like we should learn something about Will.
Okay, learn something
Will,
about me. Okay.
Tell us about yourself, Will.
Tell me about me. Okay, so I'm health and wellbeing leader at the foundation first and foremost. Joined you guys way back in end of July. I started. So
really,
yeah.
Still seems like you've only been here a month somehow.
I know.
I'm going to say opposite. I feel like you've just been here forever. Not in a bad way, like not in a furniture. No.
She's already sick of you, Will.
But I just feel like Will's just been there all the time.
Yeah,
like, it's just
I've
the
just
go-to.
been there. I've been there. Don't you worry. I've been like the big brother, aren't I? Like, I'm just there.
Just lurking it back. Somebody needs some fitness tips. Somebody needs some nutrition tips. Will's here.
Hello.
Which I would say is your role within our staff team, isn't it, Will, actually? So you're
100%.
Usually there in our little group chat that we have.
100%, yeah.
Always giving us something motivational to look forward to, some sort of tip to lead a better, healthier life. So yeah, you do play that role very well. So I think 100%. A very good addition to said podcast. Now you can inject your positivity into the world. But before you came to the foundation, what were you doing? What's your quals? Give us your CV.
My CV, whoa, way back. So I did a degree at the uni. This seems years ago, like 2018. I graduated.
That is not years ago.
It feels like it. Though.
We're going to be old ones in this.
I graduated in 2012, and I went as a mature student. I went as a mature student, so that was still late for me.
2018. It's a long time ago. I did sports science though, so I enjoyed it, but I was glad to graduate, I'm not going to lie. So I wanted to, I was bored of essay writing. I really was. I'd done enough. By 3 years, I was like, I got to write a dissertation and everything.
It is hard.
It was a long process.
I remember leaving uni wanting to getting excited to read for pleasure again.
Yeah,
because you get forced to read at uni, and it's all obviously very academic books. Yes. And I remember just leaving uni thinking, just excited to read for pleasure because I can rather than being forced. It's just Lizzie, a weird feeling.
No, Lizzie's getting on a soapbox again because you're forced to read academic things because Lizzie did a degree in what? Did you do your degree in, Lizzie?
If you're about to tell me that drama isn't academic, I'm gonna jump through this computer screen and punch you solidly in the face.
So you guys, drama and sport are academic.
My dissertation was all about local radio and if it's important in the new media world, and I had to do lots of listener figure research, interviews, all that kind of stuff. So it is very academic. So if you're sat there thinking it's not academic, either sport or drama, listeners, then you are wrong. You're wrong. I don't mind telling you you're wrong. Go away. Get in the seat.
Good. I was just making our listeners aware that our subjects are academic, and thank you for getting on your soapbox, Lizzie, because I knew it would happen.
100%.
Like a red rag to a bull. Why would you do that to me? You know. Anyway, back to Will.
That's me. So then, going on the journey, I went.
It's like a bedtime story. I love it.
I graduated 2018. Then I worked for the University Lincoln as an intern.
Ooh,
so I
wow.
did sports development, graduate intern, and then I worked for the university for 3 years, 2 years, 2 years after that. Did a bit of staff wellbeing, also worked for like student wellbeing a little bit as well, and then I worked for you guys.
What gets you out of bed in the morning then, Will?
What gets me out of the bed in the morning? Okay,
Needing a wee.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Is it a dog licking your face like mine?
Dog licking my face is having its breakfast. No, feed me now.
Which,
No.
by the way, I don't know if you've got the same issue, but since the clocks have gone back, my dog hasn't understood that.
Your dog who's got his wristwatch on hasn't understood the time.
He's not moved his clock forward, and he's waking me up at all the time and asking me for food at all the time. It's just not on board yet.
Everyone always looks forward to that extra hour in bed, and then you got your dog next to you licking your face. Like,
unless you've got dogs, kids, and cats, that doesn't work.
No, still don't get that extra hour, do you?
No.
But what gets me out of bed in the morning? I'd say just I don't know really. Like just living life, I guess.
Good answer.
I don't really know really. Just trying to like do a little bit more than what I did the day before, I guess. Do you know what I mean? In a positive way. So like just taking a step further than what I did yesterday and building from. Do you know what I mean?
That's an excellent mentality. That you know, sometimes you finish the day and you're thinking I maybe didn't do enough.
Yeah.
But if you're always just thinking I just want to make sure that I do a little bit more than what I did the last day, then that's an achievable goal.
I think it's achievable definitely if you have that mindset, because people could be hard on themselves and say, "Oh, I didn't achieve enough that day," and then they get really down throughout the whole week. But it's like, don't take it as like a week kind of focus. Be more in the present and think about a day-by-day approach rather than what can I do throughout the week. Do you know what I mean? Because that can lead to you'll be more positive if you have that approach. I always find anyway, just a little bit at a time. Do it within your own time.
I'm glad you've said that, Will. I'm really glad you've said that, because the amount of students that we get at the foundation that get really disheartened because, I've got this assignment to do and then I'm playing in this fixture and I've got that training to do, and they get overwhelmed by how much they've got to do, which we try and teach them, it's the way of life that you will have more than one thing going on at a time. Unfortunately, that is life. You can't just attack one thing at a time, but they can attack it a day at a time. And I think that's a really good mindset to have, that I hope
100%.
they've just listened to you, because they're fed up of me just saying, one day at a time, guys, mini steps to success, you know?
Just playing this bit of the podcast, we could do with some more listeners.
I'm just going to keep playing Will on repeat, telling them to one day at a time, guys, come on. If you could just do a little motivational jingle for us, Will, that'd be fantastic.
It's going to turn into like a Radio 1 type thing, isn't it, when they just play things on
You could have a button in the classroom, Hannah, that just says "Wellbeing Will." You just press it and it's just Will going one day at a time.
One step at a time, guys. One step at a time. It's true though. Like, I think people nowadays, I think it's because we live in a bit of a fast-paced world that we expect to achieve things so quick, and you can't always do that. It's about, like, I've got to write a case study at the minute because I'm doing an extra qualification for Lincolnshire Foundation as a part of my cancer rehab kind of qual that I'm doing. But it seems quite a daunting task because I haven't written like a case study or an essay in years, like since I finished uni.
3 years.
3 years. 3 years. That's where we were at. And but all I'm trying to do is just do like a bit at a time. So like if it's just like a paragraph a day, like and it's quality, not quantity. So I'm not looking to write half the essay in one day. Like just do little segments at a time. And I find that helps a bit, like in terms of sustainability and sort of like keeping positive and like not getting bored with the essay or anything like that, or thinking I can't do it. It's just little bits at a time.
Yeah, I wish I'd have had you sat on my shoulder while I was doing my dissertation, Will.
Oh, fuck. I didn't think like that back then, though. So yeah.
Can you imagine those years ago when you came skipping out of university thinking, no more essays, and 3 years later writing a case
Here we
study.
are, back to case studies. Got some words, boy. Here we go.
Yeah, I think we all. That's a fantastic thing to aim for. But I think we all know at some point at university, most of us did the whole all-nighter minute essay. But I used to reward myself with because I can't do that, as in I can't jump in and out of an essay. Like I have to go when I've got the writing flow and then just bash it out. But I used to do it and reward myself like at increment little points in it in the day or something like that. So you can still do that mentality, but be like, okay, I'm going to get to like 500 words, and then when I get to this, or do the introduction, I'm going to be able to break and get like some cake.
Exactly. Coffee and cake.
I'm going to reward myself with an episode of Friends, and then I'll jump back into it. Like, so you can do it even if you have to do it all on the one day because you've left it till last minute and stuff like that. You can still do that same mentality of reward, but it's just giving yourself that little goal, isn't it? To be like, right, okay, I'm going to do the next 500 words, and then the next thing, and it's whatever motivates you, really. So for me, it was cake and Friends, but for someone else, it might be it might be something else. Like, I don't know, run.
It's true though. It's true. You've got to give yourself a bit of a reward because it's not easy. Like mentally, it's not easy. You know, guys doing BTECs and stuff. It's not. It's because it's changed a lot since when I did a BTEC. To be fair, that was years ago. I finished my BTEC 2015.
All them years ago, Will.
Years ago, Hannah. Years ago.
That's when 2015. I was giving birth to my second child.
Oh wow!
You were finishing BTEC.
Just handed my second assignment in.
Which, by the way, childbirth is not something you can reward yourself in.
No. That is rewarding itself.
You obviously get the little reward at the end, the tiny human being. But oh my days! Any other woman out there will know there is no reward midway through that. It's just an onslaught until the end.
Just like guys, time out. I just need to.
I've got to 8 centimetres and I've said I could have some cake. So we just pause all these contractions, please. It's cake time.
So uterus, let's just stop.
Last episode of Friends, guys. 1 minute.
Quick, Chandler's about to propose.
Stop now.
I did actually try to do that though. I remember when I had Harry, I'd got like it was when I had my first daughter Lydia, and I was woefully underprepared for it. I was like, I'll bring a magazine. I could maybe watch that one, flick through. No. And then I was watching some sort of really rubbish film. What is it? The one with the kid where they write the burn book. What is it with all the girls? And they say, you can't sit with us, and today we wear purple, and whatever it is.
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls, yeah. I was watching Mean Girls like late into the night, and then the contractions started, but I was sort of into Mean Girls. So I was like, shh, baby. I'm watching a thing.
Oh, God. I wish it had been an actual good film. Like, I mean, poor Lydia listening to this now, she's going to be like, Mom, as if you were putting Mean Girls before me.
She's never seen Mean Girls either. Maybe when she watches it, she'll like it. She might like it. No. It might be ingrained in her to like it because, like, it was when she almost entered the will to it.
She might be repulsed by it and like, I can remember this. When can I remember this from? I'm sure I've heard this before. Babies can hear things in womb. Like, you can play music to them and stuff to soothe them and things like that.
I think you're supposed to play things like Mozart, but I predominantly played Meatloaf to Lizzie.
And I reflected on her. Does she like a good bit of rock music?
She does, yeah, actually.
Moshing in the womb.
I've raised my kids. I've raised my children well. Harry adores AC/DC. He's got like a T-shirt, and that's what he listens to all the time. He's got Alexa in his room and is consistently asking it to play AC/DC. So,
bless him.
Yes, then.
I've raised my children well.
You have. That's some good taste, that is.
This month, we wanted to talk largely about wellbeing because we've got Will joining us. So things like the night's closing in, things like that. But I'm going to offset that talk, or kick it off rather, with our new feature, which is looking at local news. LOCAL. Local news. So I've been trawling all over the local news sites. I'm not going to tell you which local newspaper that we're actually trawling it from because I don't know if I'm allowed to do that or not. So I'm not gonna run the risk.
Other newspapers are available.
Many newspapers are available, and this story is from one of those. So one of the leading headlines today on one of our local news sites is "Wintery showers forecast to hit Lincolnshire this month." Yeah, that's right, people. We are about to enter that phase of the world where people tell you about the weather that you are currently experiencing at the same time as them. You're about to see Facebook statuses galore telling you that it's raining outside or snowing or sleeting, even though you're already in the same world. You're about to hear people come inside to a room that you've also just entered saying, "Oh, it's cold out there," it's news to you. We are entering that season, people. So wintry showers forecast to hit Lincolnshire. Apparently, by the way, there's a definition in the story of what wintry showers is. And that is the UK term wintry showers is often a way of describing mixed weather conditions. These include, but are not limited to, rain, freezing rain, sleet, and in some cases, snow. So basically, weather.
Basically cold.
Cold weather. So at some point during the next 2 weeks, it says, we're about to experience potentially rain, freezing rain, sleet, and possibly snow. So that's basically the climax of this news story, the top bit of the news, which is actually good because it means nothing horrific's happening in Lincolnshire right now. But here is the breaking news, people. We are about to experience weather. Thoughts?
I love it. I think you said it. Like, I love that is a news story. They have made a news story about today.
Did you know that it's almost winter? Winter is coming, guys.
Yeah. It's like there's a fifth season. Like it's like spring. What is it? Spring, summer, autumn, almost winter.
It is. And actually November is always a bit muddled because I've had this conversation with so many people that everyone thinks November is in winter, but it's not. It's the final month of autumn, which is December, January, February.
Yeah.
So we are still in autumn, but winter is coming into it. It's creeping into autumn. It's got no business here. Go away. Get a calendar.
What's your favourite season? Because my favourite season is autumn. I love autumn. I love it.
Of course it is. You're ginger. It's orange. Yeah, the world.
Right, gingerist.
The world becomes you. That's why you like it. Blend in with your surroundings.
I'm just some eyeballs. I just sort of stick to a tree and you can just see the eyeballs moving. But I love it but I only love crisp autumn. So it's just reminding me, were you talking about weather? Like, yes, the weather is wet and cold. We know that. Mm-hmm. But I love autumn when you have that perfect autumn day when it's just a little bit crisp outside, you know, that first frost coming in and all the leaves are all crackly and crisp and stuff. I love an autumn like that. Get your duvet on, get an hot chocolate, put some marshmallows on, put some cream on, really treat yourselves and get fire on. Ooh.
Are you a leaf kicker?
Yes, I am a leaf kicker.
Who isn't a leaf kicker? Like, go outside and kick some leaves, people. Absolutely. It's fabulous.
Yes. Or collect some leaves and turn it into leaf mould next year and put it on your garden because it's really good for your garden.
I'm sorry, what? Leaf what?
Leaf mould.
Oh.
What's leaf mould?
It's a really good like soil conditioner and soil improver. So if
I like how you said that, like we all know what leaf mould is.
Some gardeners out there will know what leaf mould is, but I am just expressing my little nugget of knowledge onto you after you have told us about your flag debacle.
Where are you supposed to store debacle? Where are you supposed to store the leaves, and how long does it take to turn into leaf mould?
So it will take pretty much the entire season until sort of next year, but it's a good investment because once you've got like a little conveyor belt of leaf mould going, you can keep doing it.
Conveyor belt
we
of
did
leaf
ours
mould.
last year for the first next year, and we're going to now spread our leaf mould onto our overturned beds, ready for it to blend in and do its magic over winter. But recycle, reuse, guys. So we use old compost bags, collect up all the crispy leaves, put them all in, fold it up, roll it up, put it in a shed, put it next to your greenhouse, wherever you want to put it, and let it do its business. And that's it. You don't even have to touch it until this time next year when you get it out and put it all over your raised beds or wherever you want to put it to improve your soil ready for next season. Woohoo!
So you lay it sort of this season then?
Yeah, so
that's the
last
laying
year's
time
leaf that you created last year or that you set up creating last year, you can now get it out and spread the love onto your soil.
Wow, that's exciting. You heard it here first, people. Gather those, kick the leaves and then quickly gather them.
Yes. The leaves, and then this time next year you'll have some fantastic leaf mould and much better soil the following season.
Coming to gardens near you.
Lincolnshire, you're about to get some good gardens.
Yeah, that's it.
To answer your question about best season, I love summer. I think I love summer.
Yeah.
I do love summer. It's just nice. Everyone's happier and
I agree.
it's just nice to be out there. But it's barbecue season as well, which is lovely. And it's, I think you do tend to also like the season that your birthday's in, I think automatically, because Sally, you are an autumnal birthday, aren't you? But I am a May birthday, so I do quite like that time of year. What are you, Will?
I would say summer, but I'm September, so...
Oh, cusp. You're in the cusp.
It's in the cusp, isn't it?
It is in the cusp.
You
You get a summery September, so yeah, that might be why.
Yeah, you
But-
can probably...
But Harry said to me actually last night, my son Harry, that he loves this time of year because of hot chocolate, like you said. So I think I'm going to get one of those hot chocolate stations. I've seen them on Pinterest. That you can have on your kitchen, and it's going to come out at this season. I think I'm going to make it an annual thing, so it'll go away in the summer and it'll get out in the season. And you can get I found a little a trifold stack. I don't know. I'm just making up some words here. But three jars that stack into each other, so I can have marshmallows in one and hot chocolate in another, and then maybe some flakes or actually some mint matchsticks, because if you put them in, it makes your hot chocolate all chocolate mint, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
So something like that. But it will be the little hot chocolate station, so the kids can come and make themselves a little hot chocolate, which will be lovely. Across Lincoln City Foundation channels all month in November, because we are talking to people about the importance of getting outside in this weather and still exercising. But it's hard, and we don't want to pretend like it's not hard. So we're going to talk about some of the reasons why you don't want to get out, and then some of the reasons why you should get out. So some of the reasons why you don't want to get out, I'd probably kick you off, is because winter's coming. It's wintry weather. It's wet, it's cold, it's awful in terms of the weather-wise. However, because we're going to offset each bad reason with a good one, it's a good reason to get out your nice new wintry warm hat, your nice scarf, crack on your winter coat.
That's it.
And go kick some leaves.
And collect
Or go out for a nice walk on the beach. I like to do that in the autumn.
Yeah,
Get yourself.
I've never beached autumn. What's it
beautiful.
like on the beach?
It's great.
Yeah.
You can take your dog as well, because
because
allow you to do
beaches
now.
are now dog friendly because the whole holiday season is over.
Yeah.
My problem is my dog is not dog friendly, which is maybe why I've not gone on the beach.
I mean, beaches are big places. I'm not sure if you know this, but they stretch across the whole coast.
Fair point.
My dog ran off, actually. He went to we went to Chapel St Leonard's.
Oh, lovely place.
I love it. We go there all the time. It's half an hour from me. We took the young one, Sydney, and he ran off, and Dad had to go and chase him. He tripped over, and Sydney had gone the length of the beach, to see this other dog. And and Dad's losing his shoes and everything. And he's just prowl through the sand to get him. Oh, it's hilarious. We just stood there and laughed at it. And just
That's a fair point, actually. Will, listeners of our podcast know very much mine and Hannah's dogs, but we don't know yours yet, actually. So we've got Sydney. What kind of dog's Sydney?
So Sydney is Black Labrador.
Adorable.
And Paddy, our oldest dog, is a Black Labrador as well. They are related. So Paddy is... Get it right way around. Paddy is Sydney's uncle.
Oh,
Sydney's uncle?
Yeah. So, Paddy's sister gave birth to Sydney, basically. But,
That's are they similar?
They are, yeah, in some ways, but Sydney's a bit more slimmer. I don't know how to put it.
You're not fucking a thin dog.
I don't know how to put it nicely. Like, do you know what I mean? I've got feelings.
They're not listening. They're not listening. It's fine.
They're sleeping. It's all right. They're sleeping next door. They can't hear.
Did Paddy welcome the addition of Sydney in his life? Did he really want to see his nephew and live with him?
I don't really know, to be honest. I don't think he did, to be honest. I think he just puts up with him, to be honest. when he jumps on him and everything, it's like, I don't think he likes it at all, really.
And in other dog news, Hanna.
Yeah, so since we last recorded, I have got myself a new puppy.
No.
And it's not a border collie.
And it's not a border collie, no. So
Oh
those people who've known me before this podcast and stuff, they will know that we used to have a pug called Rocky. I've got to give a little nod out to our Rock, and he passed away. It'll be 3 years in February. Rocky passed away, and Rocky was. I know that we in the UK we don't have like therapy type dog or emotional support dogs. It's more of an American thing, isn't it? That, but Rocky was my little rock, bless him, and he went through everything with me: house moves, relationship problems, everything, and I absolutely adored him. Yes, I did treat him like my child, but he was my best friend. And I know a lot of people say that about their dogs, but he genuinely was, and he did everything with me. And Rock passed away 3 years ago, 3 years in February. And I've been sort of thinking, I might want another pug. He was a pug, bless him. I love my border collies. I absolutely love them, but they've got a slightly different personality, haven't they, to a pug? A pug has a very,
Stubborn,
yeah, very specialised personality, don't they, pugs, bless them. And so
I can say that because mine's down here. Look at me with that stubborn face of hers.
Yes, so we considered getting a new pug, but then we thought, we were really lucky with Rocky. He didn't have any health problems until his later life, and then that's what he passed away from. So he wasn't ill for like a long period or anything. They have breathing problems and things like that. He was a very active pug, loved going on long walks and stuff, and I thought, am I going to get lucky to have a healthy pug twice in a row? I'm not sure I can risk it. So we went for a pug cross. So we've now got Alfred Pugsworth, who is currently 11-week-old pug Patterdale cross, which I believe the real name is a Puggerdale.
A Puggerdale.
But my other half gets it the wrong way round and calls him a Patterpug.
I prefer Patterpug, if I'm honest.
I prefer Patterpug. It sounds better, doesn't it? So, yeah, he's a Patterpug. I'm just going to call him a Patterpug.
Well, you know how much I love my crosses. Both of mine are crosses, so welcome to the world. I love how his name's a little butler as well. He's a butler.
We always have themed names. You know that we like a good themed name, so we went for Alfred Pugsworth because he's got little batty ears when he lays down. So
So I guess, yes, another reason to get outside is to walk your dog.
Yes,
100%.
Definitely. It's one of the best things. I'm with Will. I'm totally with Will. Like, it's so nice to go to a beach in autumn, winter, when there's literally, like, you can only see another two people, like, miles away from you and stuff like that, and just have a wander, and it blows cobwebs off. Because, it's chilly, but it's a nice chilly. Like, it's a refreshing chilly when you go out onto the beach. I do love it. I do love a good wander around beach, especially when it's just getting dusk as well. It's just a lovely setting.
You get a bit of sea air in you. I feel it is good for you. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it's like a myth or something, but I feel like it is good for you.
Yeah,
I'm going to promote it.
Anytime we go to the beach, we get home like that evening or whatever, and we're absolutely zonked. Like, that's it. It's like, it's sea air. It's took it out of me. Like, it really does refresh you and makes you want to go to sleep.
It's a thing.
That's scientific research.
Yeah. That degree I did in 2018, I don't think they mentioned about sea air, but I think it's... I'm going to do a PhD on sea air.
You need to go back to a master's now and do a whole research project on it. Is the sea air beneficial?
Pool 2021, sea air.
Yeah, there you are, guys. You heard it here first. See ya.
Absolutely. So, has anyone got another reason why we should be outside as opposed to inside this November?
Fireworks. If you like fireworks, I think it's lovely to be outside, like, and watch them, and then you get wrapped up. get yourself like a hot dog or something, a coffee or a hot chocolate, or I think you've got to get as much, like today. Jeez, it's sunny today. I'm sat on this podcast and the sun was blinding my eyes. I was going to put some sunglasses on. Jeez.
You did become the sun at some point. I was worried about you.
I did. It's a good job you guys can't see me because you wouldn't see my eyes. But anyway.
Will's currently suffering from sunburn.
Yeah. Sunburn, November.
No, yeah, it's a nice time to be outside for that reason, for like fireworks tonight.
Yeah.
Fireworks night's a great night anyway, but you've got some good outdoor food that is. So it's now the season for the hot dog.
Exactly, and you've got the Christmas markets coming up as well. So
it's a special hot dog though, because actually hot dogs do jump seasons over, don't they? Because there is barbecue season where it is obviously very there. But like a Christmassy wintry hot dog, that's the one.
Oh, I love them. Yeah,
that's the one.
Good shout. Good shout.
They have some in the fun zone at Lincoln Games now. They have a big like a cabin thing that does all like different flavoured bratwursts in the fun zone. So if you're wondering where to get one, then pop over to a Lincoln Game and fill your boots.
Yeah,
exactly.
I might come now.
Fill your boots. There's a curry one and everything.
Currywurst. It's the best.
I don't eat meat, but I'm told it's nice.
It's very nice. I'll have your portion.
But yes, there is all that winter warming food as well, which is quite nice. It makes me feel good. So winter warmer soup is what we used to have as kids all the time. I love a winter warmer soup. It's got loads of veg in it, some celery and some sweet corn, but all combined together to make this really nice, hearty, thick soup with a nice bit of crusty bread. It is soup season.
That's nice.
Yeah, and there's nothing
that's
better
a good thing.
than getting in your car, drive to the beach, open up your thermos of soup, and
that's it. Taking the sea air, and then it's beautiful.
And then
get
you
yourself
sleep.
Soup, sea, and stand, then sleep. The 4 S's. Soup, sea, stand, sleep.
That's your plan for winter. The end.
Autumn. We're still in autumn.
Spring.
I think my point would be that I know a lot of people find it really, really daunting to go out in winter, to find that motivation when it's dark nights. It's cold out there, I don't want to go out, I'd rather stay in my house. I think it's really important to remember that we can build up our exercise in like 10-minute bouts. You don't actually have to do 30 minutes in one whack. If you just want to have a 10-minute mooch around your village, that's fine. That's 10 minutes of physical activity that you can bank for that day. And we don't have to torture ourselves by going on a 2-hour run if you don't want to because it's too cold and you get demotivated by thinking that you've got to do something like that. So, find something that's 10 minutes, even if you just walk to your neighbours to take them, a pack of scones or something like that. Go for a quick mooch and bank that 10 minutes throughout the day.
I'm sorry, you just made a really big error there. I think you meant take a pack of scones. I think
Scones, darling, scones.
I think you misspoke, but it's okay. I'll edit it around it. Don't worry about that.
No, you don't. Although I did make some scones for the first time the other day.
Oh, how was your scones?
My scones were amazing. So I had some pumpkins left over from our allotment. And I thought, what am I going to do with these bad boys? They were only little ones. They're called zombie pumpkins. They've got like little warts and stuff growing all over it. They look so cool. But they were only little ones. And I was like,
you're not making them sound super appealing with the word warts.
Zombie scones,
my scones were not warty. But yeah, and I thought, well, they're too small to carve, really. So what am I going to do? And I didn't want to make your bog standard pumpkin soup because that's what everybody does. So I thought I'll do something different. So I made some pumpkin and fig flavoured scones.
Nice.
Scones.
And you didn't bring a single scone in for me at work yesterday either, which I was pretty annoyed about.
Yeah. Well, I didn't because actually my dad has eaten them all.
Oh. Well, Mr. Story, if you're listening to this, I am not happy with you. One of those scones had my name in it.
Yeah. Make a second batch now.
Go get some more warty pumpkins.
Yeah.
I do have another pumpkin left over because we were going to carve it and then we just didn't get round to doing it. So I do actually need to produce something with the leftover pumpkin. So I may do another batch. introducing our new segment, Way Back When. And this is going to feature me, not Lizzie talking.
I'll find a way.
No, we're going to talk about those old school exercise fads and the stuff that you will remember. I mean, Will won't because he was born last year, by it sounds of it.
Graduated 2 weeks ago, guys.
The older listeners amongst us might remember some of these exercise fads that we've been through. They may have even embarked on some of these exercise programs or engaged in some of these activities that are now just a little bit cringeworthy. And now that we've got Will on board, we could talk about like the science that might have sort of created some of these fads and why they've died out, because some of them are super duper crazy.
If in the segment you don't feature Jane Fonda at any point, then I don't know if it's a friend.
Jane's on my list. Good old Jane Fonda is on my list. Everybody loves a workout DVD. Video. VHS. It would have been a VHS back then, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So this week's exercise fad, I am going to take you back, and I think at this point, Lizzie, you should do your editing wizardry and get us some like Doctor Who kind of music that takes us back in time. I am going to take you back in time to a time in the 1950s and 60s, and this has baffled me as this one.
I mean, we weren't even there then.
We weren't there then, but I was reading about it, and I remember, so this fad must have lasted for a couple of decades because my mum had one of these contraptions, and I'm going to call it a contraption, okay? So back in the 1950s and 60s, which actually scares me because in the 60s we landed on the moon. We had the technology to land on the moon, but for
supposedly.
Oh.
You did it to me.
So we had the technology to land on the moon, but some scientists somewhere thought it was fantastic to vibrate the fat off you. And I don't know if your mum might have had one of these, Lizzie, but there was this thing, and it was a big machine that you would stand on, and it had two belts that went round your backside, and it went blah, 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 and it shook the fat, supposedly shook the fat off you. And I remember my mum having one, because I remember me and my cousin used to play on it, but we used to put his head on belt and make it go and shake his head. Which
that explains a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Not advised, people. Not medically advised at all.
This is why we want you to go outside. Don't stay inside on your zappers.
So this machine genuinely was marketed as being a fat vibrator, and it would vibrate your fat off you. Now, we all know that science is completely incorrect now, but this must have been for decades because it came out in the 50s, 60s, and I remember being a child in 80s, 90s and having one of these machines in our hallway that would supposedly vibrate your fat off you. So, Will, Mr. Sports Scientist, can fat be vibrated?
I mean, you can vibrate it.
No. Technically, it can, because if you're technically moving, aren't you? But when you vibrate, you are essentially burning calories in a way, but
passively burning calories.
I would prefer to go for a walk and burn calories that way than be programmed to a machine, vibrate out of control, and then burn your calories that way. I don't know. I don't know.
It's a bit soul destroying, that, isn't it? Surely, like, as someone who's carrying a few extra on top of that pounds, just the fact of your extra bits wobbling away is a bit soul destroying. So I don't know why you'd want to put yourself through that.
I know.
In the hallway.
I did read the science behind it. The science behind it was that apparently it would vibrate at such a frequency that it would break down the fat cells so that they turned into almost a liquid, and then your body would flush out the fat. I mean, I'm not sure if you can poo out fat.
It reminds me of them science videos that you can see where when you actually heat up like a molecule and everything will like move around and turn into gas. Like it's almost that mentality that you're sort of heating up and all your fat molecules are going to move around like little things, be like whoa, and then turn into gas. And, like
come here, no, it's going on.
And then you're actually like sweating out your own fats, like you're sweating out lard. That's what sweat.
Actually, I've never been on one of them, but I was part of I hope this is not one that you're going to segue into and I've not ruined another week one, but we did have the version that you strapped round yourself that sent like pulses to move your muscles around, which I assume is slightly better than being vibrated because it is moving the muscles. Mum did have one of them and I did use that, and that was
tone. I think we're allowed to say it. Other versions are available.
I imagine we didn't have the branded version at our house, but
but that's electrical impulses, and that's actually it.
Does that work?
So that again it's false exciting your muscles, isn't it? So rather than you doing the actual exercise and exciting the muscles and causing the contractions in your muscles via natural means, it's allowing you to do it while you sat watching Friends.
It was weird. I didn't like it. I think I did it a few times. I was like, it's not for me. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's causing fake contractions in your muscles. And the more your muscles contract and relax, the more they then build and strengthen.
True.
Essentially. So that's what it kind of works on, is the science behind that one. I'm not sure what the science behind a vibrating fat machine is.
They do have them in gyms though now, where
vibration plates, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Still.
Yeah, still have them. So obviously
it must work in some way.
It must. Yeah, I mean, I've never been on one, but you can go on them, can't you? Stand on them, or you can you can do a plank on one, or you can sit on it, or
So now they've progressed away from the belt that goes around your bum and just shakes your bum back to an actual plate that vibrates.
It's a plate,
I suppose in that sense, it's almost like overexciting your muscles, isn't it? That if you're in a plank, it's actually stimulating your muscles to contract and relax even more when you're in that plank. So you're getting that overcompensation almost of your muscles.
True.
Maybe, but I don't understand the belt round your bum. I don't understand that, and I think I'm glad that
it's just upsetting. It's just upsetting. It's not a good look for anyone, I don't think.
But I just wanted to bring those
in the hallway
back.
Though. Actually, I just want to
read it in the hallway. I remember we lived in a bungalow and it had a big square hallway, and I remember this contraption being in there with a bell.
Just imagining your dad arriving home from work and your mum sat there in the hallway going, "Hello." That's my vision of your upbringing.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that vision back to some of our listeners who might want to go down memory lane.
So to cap off for our final feature, we're going to hand the talkie reins. That's not a word, but I'm going to use it anyway. There we go. The microphone over to our newbie Will, who's going to see us out with our wellbeing tip for the podcast.
Okay, so coming back to when I was blinded by the light, the sun. Obviously, we're going into that period of time where, as Lizzie said, it's getting very dull and bleak, and we're not getting much vitamin D. So I think that we need a little tip for you guys is to try and get out when it's really nice sunny weather and try and absorb and consume the vitamin D. It's been proven a little bit that if we don't get enough vitamin D throughout the winter, we don't actually function as well. As in the summer, you function better, like your bodily functions are better because you have the vitamin D within you. But if you're not getting enough sunlight, because it's not always sunny in this country, is it really? Let's face it. We've got the rain.
Wintery showers.
We've got the army of rain coming. The clouds are coming over. which we speak about every day. You can get vitamin D in eggs. So if you like your eggs, get some eggs in your oily fish. So anything from like mackerel, that's a good choice. Get some mackerel in you. That's really good for vitamin D. And then like meats, but like probably not red meats, but like chicken's got vitamin D in it. Actually, lean meats, beef, that sort of thing. But yeah, if you're like a vegan or a vegetarian, obviously you won't be eating meats. So for Lizzie, but yeah, even your soups. So like what Lizzie was saying earlier about your vegetable soups, like your chickpeas and that sort of thing, they've got good vitamin D's in, good sources of vitamin D in. So it's kind of like trying to vary that kind of consumption, but just be mindful as we go into winter because sometimes we feel a bit tired, and it's because we're vitamin D deficient. So you can take vitamin D supplements, which that's a bit of a fad at the minute.
Yeah.
But these supplements, are they actually any good?
Yes.
I mean, that's another podcast, another chat from another podcast. But anyway, I don't recommend any kind of supplementation. I think you need to kind of focus on your food products before you take a supplement. So like always focus on whole foods before supplementation. So yeah, you can take vitamin D tablets. Whether they work or not is down to the individual, but just focus on like simple things like sunlight and then simple sources of food, really.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So to sum up this episode, winter is coming, vibration plates don't work, and get outside, kick some leaves, mould your ground, and get some vitamin D.
That's it. Get some, guys. Get some. Some will guide us.
Amazing. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed our introduction to Will. He's going to join us in all further podcast episodes now. So if you've got anything that you would like to ask him, then please do get in touch. And we will be back soon with a brand new guest talking about Lincolnshire and why it's awesome. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
This podcast was brought to you by Lincoln City Foundation.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.
If you have any content or you want to get involved in our shenanigans and be a guest, why not email us at marketing@lincolncityfoundation.co.uk.